what's the core value prop that you're giving to a consumer? So if I want to go sign up for GameTree, how is that actually being used today? I actually did sign up for GameTree. I actually did sign up for GameTree, but I want to hear from your words.
So we're number one on Google for like find gamers, find gamer friends, find people to play with. So I'd say that's pretty comfortably the main use case, is people wanting to find people who they'll enjoy playing with and be real life friends with. A lot of the game industry has been shut down by instant queue matchmaking. It's been great in some ways, but it also killed communities. And this is a problem that a lot of the internal people I've talked to at these studios recognize, is that they kind of killed social and gaming. So a lot of people are looking for outside tools, which is what led me into founding this, is just getting tired of playing alone and seeing that the tools sucked to meet people.
Yeah.
Not just finding like age, sex, location, but actual people you're going to be real life friends with. So that's the biggest use case right now. And then what people really want isn't just to find friends, it's to have fun, good emotions, build relationships, spend time with people. So because of that, we're getting more into gameplay coordination. So people can coordinate game sessions, join either public ones or have private ones with friends. For example, getting push notifications before they start, having it automatically call everybody when it starts to make things like faster and easier, for example, than Discord. And then the last piece is social network. People want to stay in touch out of game. I personally, like as a gamer, want to be posting about games, but I feel awkward doing that on like Instagram or TikTok or something. It doesn't go to the right people and it's kind of embarrassing. So gaming needs its own dedicated social space for this. So because people are already meeting in GameTree and finding friends there, the hardest part of a social network is already solved, that chicken and egg problem. And users keep asking us for all these features. So that's what we're now working on delivering.
Got it. And just to clarify, John, while the mobile app is the main platform for engaging with GameTree, correct?
Yes, mobile app is our lead. We're revamping the UI and UX for the web app, and we're also launching a desktop app in partnership with Overwolf soon.
Got it. But clearly there's nothing intrinsic, like GameTree is being built across gaming mindset as far as like the games.
Yes. Also, we have a partnership that's finishing up with a company called s6e10 that has an amazing plugin that can go into JavaScript, React Native, Unity, and Unreal, where they've added a GameTree tab so that people can access GameTree from within a game or an app without even having to leave a website. And with that comes a lot of social features that s6e10 has built, for example, chat, leaderboards, wagering that they profit share with the games, also be able to plan game sessions. So that's something we were intending to build ourselves over time, but it's a lot of functionality. So we're happy to have partnered with them to bring this to the market.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I think there's a ton of value in that. Game communities can be very insular. And especially for, those of us that are adults but still love gaming, a lot of times like coming into a new game community, it's sort of like where to start, where to meet people. Both my wife and I got really into Baldur's Gate 3 this year, and we were talking about like, we moved to a new city and talking about how it'd be great to like find a group to actually do tabletop D&D, but we're like, yeah, but where do we meet people? Like, how do we identify like the people that would be part of that group? And there's a number of games these days that like are built with social features, which are great, or like key parts of the game that are best experienced as a group, but that also puts a barrier to experiencing those things. So I think there's a lot of practical benefit for gamers for a tool like GameTree.
To elaborate on that a little bit, toxicity has skyrocketed in surveys that we've done to both GameTree and non-GameTree users. That's the number one unmet need in gaming right now. And we accidentally solved toxicity a bit, even though like I originally viewed it from the lens of friend finding. My co-founder is a woman and she deals with a lot of the fallout from being a woman in gaming. And it's not just accountability and anonymity, but the biggest component we've discovered and haven't seen this anywhere else is actually just the wrong people playing together. Like back in the day, a lot of us would play Counter-Strike on servers and you get to know people on the server, you become friends, it's kind of like your home. And you find one that you sort of vibe with, but nowadays you're just thrown in with a bunch of random people. So for example, if you're cool with trash talking and swearing and somebody else isn't, you're going to find each other toxic. Or if you're really competitive and somebody else is casual, even at the same skill level, you're going to hate each other. The casual person's going to be like, hey man, like, stop stressing me out. Like, I'm just trying to have fun. Like, fuck you. And the other person's like, no, you're not trying hard enough, blah, 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 fuck you. And like, nobody's wrong. They're just different. And that's something that's totally missing right now. So in a game like Dungeons and Dragons, we are actually meeting up in person. And that's a kind of game where there's a bigger spectrum of kinds of fun that people enjoy. It becomes extra important. So if you got a bunch of power gamers playing with one person who's just like all about role playing and story, they're not going to have fun playing together.
That was one question I had. It's like, what games are you seeing the most use out of this today? What sort of segments of the actual game population are really finding this a useful tool for making friends?
So even though GameTree is about multiplayer gaming, the generic users are mostly not people who are like, I want to find a friend to play this specific game with at the skill level. Most of them are people that are like, I just want to have fun and hang out with good people. And that's showing up in the game industry as a trend where the most popular, successful games now aren't necessarily the ones that are the most competitive or designed the best, but the ones where people from different skill levels can come and play together in like a third world, like Genshin Impact, Fortnite, things like that. So on GameTree, those are disproportionately represented because it's easier for people to come together, and those are just very popular in the gaming world right now in general. But more specifically, games that have high levels of cooperation. For example, Grand Theft Auto, you do a heist. And it really sucks if you're with a bad party member because you're going to be in that for hours. Or like Destiny, you don't want to be stuck with somebody you're not going to like for hours or somebody who just leaves and ruins the whole thing. So games like that, especially, people come to GameTree for because they're looking for partners to play those.